New census data reveals a change in America's demographics.
And that's being felt right here in Georgia. CBS 46's Haley Mason joins us now with the very latest. Haley.
Rick, the Census Bureau director told us this afternoon on a virtual call that they use new question models to get a better idea of how racial and ethnic demographics can be split up across the country, where the population is growing, and how quickly. They're saying local leaders can now use this data to redraw election maps and distribute federal funding. The results of the 2020 census showing America has grown overwhelmingly diverse in the last 10 years. The population growing by more than 9% to more than 331 million people as more Americans move into cities.
As the data enable us to explore the richness and complexity of our nation's population in a new light.
Georgia's total population sits at more than 10.7 million. It's grown by more than 1 million people in the last 10 years, a 10.6% increase since the last census was taken in 2010.
Results from the 2020 census will be used for the next 10 years to shape the future of our country.
And Georgia's growing more diverse. Gwinnett County coming in as the most diverse county in the state with a more than 75% diversity index. It's followed by Cobb, Liberty, Stewart, Fulton, and DeKalb counties. The racial, gender, and vast demographic data will be used by our lawmakers to redraw legislative maps and congressional districts.
These results will also help inform how hundreds of billions of dollars in federal funds will be distributed each year nationwide.
Georgia's House Speaker David Ralston was not able to comment on camera, but his press director tells me his office will begin discussing the maps closer to the redistricting hearings in November. They're waiting on final data to be released at the end of September. But House Democratic Minority Leader James Beverly tells me he's excited to see the initial demos.
I can't contain my excitement. It's not anecdotal anymore. We actually see that these places are actually more diverse.
He says he's cautiously optimistic that Georgia's Republican leadership will work with everyone to redraw the voting maps.
Moving these maps around is political. And so if they're smart, and I think they are, they'll come up with fair maps that are reflective of what Georgia looks like today. Not what they hope it looks like, not what they thought it should be, but what it actually is.
And just want to note again, the Census Bureau did something different this time, splitting race and ethnicity questions into two different questions. It said it enabled them to get a more thorough and accurate depiction of how Americans self-identify, yielding a more accurate portrait of how people report their Hispanic origins and race in this country. Lawmakers will come to the Capitol in early to mid-November to use this data to redraw your voting districts. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.